Loneliness among the elderly is becoming an increasing problem worldwide. The Pontifical Academy for Life has launched an initiative to foster and strengthen bonds between grandparents and grandchildren. EWTN Vatican Bureau Chief Andreas Thonhauser has more.
In a young life, there are ups and downs. To help you through your time of need, Pope Francis reminds us that the elderly, with their age and wisdom, have a lot to offer. The Pontifical Academy of Life is hosting an event on April 27th, this Saturday, to emphasize that very point.
I believe that Pope Francis's insistence on the relationship between grandparents and grandchildren goes far beyond this simple event. This affective complicity, as I call it, responds to a need for relationships that have unfortunately almost disappeared in our contemporary world. So much that loneliness has become an increasingly common condition of human life.
The Pope has described the relationship to this: the grandparents and grandchildren grow together, like a tree and the birds that settle in its branches. That's where they learn about the warmth and the tenderness of home. Archbishop Vincenzo Paglia, president of the Pontifical Academy for Life, underscored this aspect to EWTN News.
We are aware, as an academy, that it is essential to traverse all ages of life so that life may be defended, promoted, and supported in all its aspects. I want to add a point on this and emphasize how, for example, grandparents today can transmit that human and even religious wisdom to our children.
Pope Francis has consistently talked about the connections between generations. In 2021, the Holy Father instituted the World Day of Grandparents and the Elderly to be observed on the 4th Sunday of July. It always falls around July the 26th, which coincides with the day on which Saints Joachim and Anne, parents of Mary and thus grandparents of Jesus, are celebrated. During 2022, Pope Francis devoted 18 catecheses to the theme of old age at his general audiences. It is another example of the Pope's great focus on the elderly. Concurrently, the Holy Father has also turned his attention to children and recently instituted the World Children's Day, which will be held for the first time in Rome on May 25th to 26th. On Saturday, about 6,000 grandparents and children will fill the Aula Nervi in the Vatican for this event, during which Italian comedian and actor Lino Banfi will also be presented as Italy's grandfather.
I'm a grandfather like many others. What I would like to tell young people is to spend time with their grandparents. Grandchildren should have invisible tattoos, tattoos of the grandfather who adores them, of the grandmother who loves them and provides them with the right teachings. This is important because when the young person is convinced of these things, they can also convince their parent, who is the child of this elderly person.
In Rome, Andreas Thonhauser, EWTN News Nightly.